Good evening, glory, hallelujah to you. What the heck's your story and what's going through you? This is the glorified version of a Bass and Talk Show. And I'm your host, Pat Renwick. Welcome aboard. Bass Galaxy, hello. Give it up for yourself. You're the reason for the season. Right now, Wednesday night. This is the party night in bass fishing. You know what I mean? We get together and we have a good time every dang Wednesday night. And tonight, we bring to you, Bass Galaxy, one of your favorites. Give it up for the G-Man, Gerald Swindle. This is the G-Spot. Hit this tonight. You hitting it? Better be. That's right. It's a glorified version of a Bass and Talk Show. Swindle's back. He's making his annual visit, and we're pretty stoked about that. Hey, also, Andrew Ellenberger producing the heck out of this thing tonight. Hello, Andy. Good to see you, bud.
Hey, Pat, hey, Bass Galaxy.
Happy Wednesday to you, Andy.
And as you.
And JR, rocking Shoal Fantasy. He's rocking the chat board. Throw your questions to Stray Cass on the chat board. He's running that deal over there. And Ginge, I don't know. It's just always a good time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's always fun, this whole bass fishing deal. But I'm going to be honest with you. I've been a little down this week.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. My trolling motor's been
Oh, that's
yeah,
true.
my trolling motor's been broke. So I've been doing secret pond things and lots of running. And Hess is coming to
You were running.
yeah, he's coming to save me and be my Prince Charming tomorrow.
Nice.
Pretty happy about that. So anyway, yeah, I mean, that's what I've been doing, Ginge. But you know what it gave me a chance to do? It gave me a chance to check out the full spectrum of Half a Spot Official.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, I'm looking at this, and I'm like, wait a minute. So if these people enter a derby, all you got to do, it's so easy, all right? It's so easy for the people of the Bass Galaxy.
It really is.
It's boat, it's kayak, and it's bank, north, south. You enter and you win some derbs online. It costs a few bucks. It's under $10. I think it's $9.99, and you get a free jade elephant if you act now. But it's not much. But the grand prize is for real. You get to fish anywhere that you pick. It's wherever you want to go.
Yeah.
With Stray Cass, with us. LFG, give it up for you, Bass Galaxy, and Half a Spot Official. Download the app today on your smarty phone. Android, iPhone, it's all over. Go to halfaspot.com. Follow them on the book face and on Instagram. We want to go fishing with you. That's what we want to do. Also, Bass Galaxy, we got a present in the mail this week from our Abu means Papa in Swedish, and we got the Xenon LTX, and the X is for actual. You know what I mean? That's right there. Look at that beauty. Look at it. Yeah, I like it. Ginge, I feel like one of those TikTokers or Instagrammers right now, where I just hold up a reel and I spin it or something.
Spin the handle and show us how fast it's moving.
I got it on this ICAST rod sleeve, or I would totally do that. See how I did that? Shameless fun. Yeah. Hey, but for real, Ginge, do you have any spinning carnival music or something? And I'll just spin this Xenon for a second. And this is a live TikTok, Instagram reel right now. Spinning a Xenon. See that? Happy Garcia. I know they got them at some places right now. Omni is getting them real soon. Hey, anyway, Ginge, congratulations to Sims. Bestest show on the warm weather gear. Give it up to the design team. It's Sims, for real. Forgot to say that last week, Ginge. I wanted to give them a shout out. I'm trying to put the Xenon down. She's being wild, Ginge.
Be careful with it.
It almost knocked down Hackney. Yeah, I wanted to, oh my goodness gracious, me oh my. When I think things are happening, aren't they, Ginge?
They are.
Yeah, when I hear thunderous boom boom pows, it can only mean one thing. It's the Whiskey Gypsy and the Queen of Whiskey. The Queen of Whiskey. Wow, that's the new one. It's Courtney and Luke Foley from Tin Cup Whiskey. Yeah.
How's everyone?
You're driving, so this is very weird. Gonna be honest. I'm kind of thrown for a loop here that we're doing a Tin Cup Whiskey thing and you're driving, but there's.
Well, I had a whole thing planned out, but I gotta. Oops.
Oh, great! There goes Holy.
My daughter's in the background.
Hey!
Say hi, Maya.
Hi, Maya.
Yeah.
There she is.
She says, "Nice to meet you all."
Yes, excellent. The Bass Galaxy loves your dad. You know that, I hope.
And we love you all. But so she had third grade. Today was her first day, and she's winding down. So we had a dinner with a big customer of ours, and you got $50. Yeah, my customer gave her this math problem, and she got $50. I'm like, what is going on? So, anyways, yeah, but she's got to go to bed soon. So, anyways, yeah, I'm driving.
And good, and I'm glad there's no open containers. That's very responsible of you two.
Water.
Yes.
No.
Just
water.
There it is.
No open containers.
Water and fruit roll-ups.
Yeah.
And nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that at all. But for those that don't know, every week here on the Stray Cast Show, we do the Tin Cup Whiskey Word of the Week. And what that is, basically whenever you hear a word, you take a sip, and you take a sip of whatever you may choose. It could be an ice cold Coca-Cola. It could be a sparkling water, or of course it could be the official brown liquor of bass fishing, and that's Tin Cup Mountain Whiskey. And well, look at you by the Tin Cup truck now.
Yeah,
when we were in the driveway.
That's really cool how you guys did that little scene transfer there. For those that are listening on the podcast tomorrow, what happened is Courtney and Luke all of a sudden popped up in front of the tin, and Mia, Maya, popped up in front of the Tin Cup truck. Like, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Dion's truck, or is that yours?
This is mine. I'm getting ready. It's packed. We're going to BFL tomorrow on the Ohio River.
Nice.
So I missed the third BFL event in the Hoosier division because me and Dion had to go to Thousand Islands and do all that. And so I gotta get 2 checks for sure to make the championship. But we'll see what happens.
Foles, get them. You're a derb dog. You're a derb dog.
I've done it before down there. Yeah. I'm making spinnerbaits tonight, Pat.
Oh, okay. Maya, your dad's a derb dog. It's okay to call him that.
She's running.
Yeah.
That's outstanding. Hey, every week here on the Stray Cast Show, we have that word of the week. And when you hear it, you take a sip. Foles, what's the word of the week? What is it?
G-man.
Oh, my goodness gracious. You're trying to get the people.
I am.
Partied up.
I'm going to be listening while I'm making spinnerbaits, and I'm going to be drinking the whole way, and I'm off tomorrow. I'm off the next 2 days.
You might as well.
You all are on your own. G-man.
Are you going to be on the chat board with
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You're going to be on the chat board with everybody, chiming in, you and Court. Now, Foles, we got a pretty cool like and share tonight, we do every week here on the Stray Cast. And tonight, it's from Half a Spot. Of all people. Courtney and Luke, you heard about the Big Derb. You sign up and you get to go fishing anywhere with Stray Cast. Did you sign up, Foles?
You told me I wasn't eligible.
You're not. I know. You're because I was going to DQ you again. But, yeah, you're eligible, Court. You're eligible.
Courtney's eligible.
Yeah, you're eligible.
When am I not eligible? Like, I feel like I've been on this enough.
I'm kind of bending the rules for you. I'm bending the rules for you a little bit. Yeah.
Next year, I'm not eligible?
Next year, you can't play.
But, hey, Half a Spot swag. So the good people at Half a Spot, they got some pretty cool shirts and hats and some other miscellaneous gear. And all you got to do is like and share this live Facebook feed. Boom, pow, pow, pow. And you get a chance at the end of the show to win some Half a Spot gear. Now, here's the part everybody wants to hear, too. We're going to put G-Man on the spot. On the G-spot? What? We're G-spotting him. If you hit the G-spot tonight, Gerald Swindle, we're going to get him to give away something from the Swindle compound. Actually, Leanne. We'll ask Leanne to do it, and then we know.
It's starting to rain.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
You're not going to melt.
So, hey, like and share the live Facebook feed. You got a chance to win a swag pack from Half a Spot Official. Also, a super. What are you doing? A super secret.
It's really starting.
This is the best dang intro ever. A super secret G-Man official Stray Cast Pack. Like and share the live Facebook feed. We're saying your name at the end of the thing. Tin Cup Whiskey, thank you. Foley, Veronica Vaughn, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Love you all.
Love you too. Thanks, Tin Cup. Thanks, Luke Foley. Thanks, Courtney. Thanks, Maya. Hey, we're going to put the power poles down for pleasure. You guys ready?
I'm ready. Hey, Pat, let's go fishing soon, huh?
That's on you, bud. Yeah.
I know. It's 100% my fault.
You know how to break into my house anytime. You're one of the few people that do know. So
I know where the spare keys are.
You're welcome anytime, bud.
All right.
Hey, with that being
we're
said,
definitely going.
Let's go. Let's power pole down when we go for pleasure. But right now, don't go anywhere. When we get back, it's the G-Man, Gerald Swindle, right here on Stray Cast. See you in a minute.
Bye, you guys.
Peace. Thanks, guys.
Well, thank you.
Things you let me see.
This is the mountain, and this is mountain whiskey. Unspoiled, untamed, forever wild. There's no safety net, no way down. Up here, it's just man, and the mountain, and his tin cup. Tin Cup Whiskey. Mountain whiskey.
Want to know the difference between power bait and other soft plastics? Ask the fish. Berkley scientists have. Thousands of flavors tested on thousands of fish. Natural. Man-made. Every bait that's ever hit the water. No matter the shape, size, or color, power bait is the only one that is scientifically proven. Fish bite and will not let go.
TH Marine Hydrowave H2 KVD Edition is a surefire way to ignite a feeding frenzy. The Hydrowave utilizes a sound-emitting technology that imitates bait fish and other feeding fish below the surface that preys on the competitive nature of bass and other game fish to get you more bites. The Hydrowave is another way that TH Marine has you covered from transom to trolling motor.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is the glorified version of a Bass and Talk Show. Please make no mistakes about that. Everything here tonight is glorified, and we bring you your annual visit from one of America's favorite bassin' dudes. Give it up, Bass Galaxy, for the one and only G-Man Gerald Swindle. He's here. This is the G-spot right now.
Yes.
We're hitting it.
Here. We're here.
Yes.
We are here.
We are here.
But we are here.
We are here, and they're all there, and we're all together. You know what I mean?
That's all that matters. How have you guys been?
Dude,
y'all have been like just killing it.
Gee, life is good. We're going to talk about 10-year-old you later, but 10-year-old me really likes me right now. Gee, I don't know. And 10-year-old Andy the Ginger Ninja really likes 10-year-old Andy the Ginger Ninja right now. So life is good in Stray Cast world. Thank you for asking.
You guys are killing it. I think everything's growing for you guys, is it not?
I mean, it seems to be. We kind of go with the flow. We know it's a thin raft, this whole bass fishing thing, so we just ride it as long as we can, G. You know what I mean?
That's kind of how I feel. I've been on it for 24 years and I hadn't sank yet, but I keep waiting to start taking on water, but I hadn't.
You keep thinking of new ways to tie the braid as twine to keep those sticks together. You know what I mean?
I find myself watching The Lone Survivor, studying, just the island and all. I'm like, I'm going to figure out how to keep my raft afloat. She said, I'm going back this way. Look at here.
Yeah, you look good that way.
Long way. I like myself a long way.
That's what she said. Yes.
Yes, me too.
Hey, but I want to tell you, man, you talked a little bit about the Survivor series, but you remember, when we were kids, G, like Brady Bunch or Happy Days or stuff like that. When they were like, when we last left Fonzie or when we last left the Bradys. You know what I'm talking about, G? It was like that. Yep. There it is, G. It's a little flashback. Woo!
Yep.
When we last left you, G, here on Straycast, we did a little synopsis. I'm sorry I'm using a big word right now, but we went.
That's a big one.
We went over a montage of Swindle activities, and I mean, we went from all the way from your first derbs in 2001, where you came out cracking with a 5th place finish, and then boom, right to St. Clair with a 164th place finish, and then we.
I just like to keep people guessing.
Yeah. You got to keep them interested at first. You know what I mean?
I mean, Politics, the only guy right now that's wanting to show his consistency. I want to show people I can consistently keep you guessing.
I like that about you. But no, I mean, we went through your 2-time Angler of the Year. I mean, an amazing accomplishment. Give it up for that, Bass Galaxy, right now, because that is an amazing deal.
Crazy.
Not once.
Crazy.
Not once, G. Twice.
I know it. I talked to BP about it the other night, and we just, he don't never talk about it much, and we just briefly talked about it. And at ICAST, and he said it's starting to set in. He said, I understand one time can happen, but he said there's just not many people ever do it twice. And I think you see it in his eyes that he understands where he's at, and that's the key for him winning this is he knows where he's at, he knows what's on the line, and I think he'll respond to it well.
Yeah, he does good under pressure, that kid.
He really does. I mean, He's a pressure cooker, man. He goes back to pressures. What you put in your car tires? He don't really worry about it because when he gets in them high output tournaments, dude, he just seems to do well.
He's like that side of beef that's just been in there all day, marinating.
Just marinating in the crock pot. He's ready, but he does know what it's worth. So 2 times is pretty special. I'd like to have another run at it one time, but it's him and I talked about it. It's so hard to even get in position to do it once and then twice. It's hard that a lot of things have to go your way. The season has to fall your way, the weather, a lot of stuff that you don't even think about till you get in the middle of it. But he's sure making it look easy this year. He is consistently just whipping everybody.
And you made it look easy too, but it wasn't. We know it wasn't.
It's not easy. Yeah. I look back on it and I start thinking, man, I made 6 out of 9 top 10s. I'm like, God, that's kind of weird. And I look back at that now, I'm thinking, God, seems hard. It seems really hard to do.
Dude,
but when it clicks, it clicks.
Yeah. 06. I mean, think about 06. That was your first AOY. Dude, that's a grueling year. We talked about it with Hackney the other week. It's like that year was the first year of the elites as well. The first year of the elites. And you also, dude, you guys had like 17 derbs that year.
We were all over the place, man. And I think that's the whole deal. Like when I look at the younger generation, I'm looking at them sometimes and I'm like staring, going, y'all have no idea. Y'all literally have no idea. Back in the day when we come to St. Lawrence, we didn't even have GPS. Didn't know. Hey, you got your old map out and drove up there without Google or Siri or anything.
Maybe printed it out. Maybe if you got fancy, you printed it out.
Got you a truck stop map if you could afford it, laid it on the front seat, and you went. And now we go up there and I'm watching guys, we got multiple 5 or 6 crafts up there running. I'm thinking it's changing. The game is changing. It's still, I think it may be tougher now than it ever has before, but I just look back because when I drove through Clayton, I started to remember standing in that old hotel there. It was like Captain Clayton's Hotel and Chainsaw Repair Shop. I'm like, hell, I stayed there, with Trip Weldon. Out of all people, that was my roommate. Was Trip Weldon. And I'm thinking, now here we are 20 years later, we're back here in the elites. The town's just super embracing fishing. It's just a different game. But, I mean, you can see it at ICAST. You guys see how fast this game's changing, man. A 30-year-old fisherman now is a much better 30-year-old fisherman than I was. I can promise you that.
It's insane. Not to sound like a broken record, but we mention it all the time on this show, G. We were the guys waiting for Bassmaster magazine at the mailbox. We didn't have that information, that instant gratification at our fingertips. We were actually like little hungry wolves waiting for Bassmaster.
And you had to go test it. Even when you read it or seen it, you had to go sneak in a pond that actually had some fish.
Yes.
And try it, and throw it out there and see how it works. So the learning curve was so much slower than where it is now. Guys can watch videos, shortcut how to set their graphs. Back when I first started getting graphs, nobody even knew how to set them up. I mean, most of the service crew guys look at you, I don't know, man. We just get it to run. You got to figure out how to get it to read. So that whole deal's changed, man. Guys that are just starting, they might not know 100 different techniques, but they know how to get a Garmin Live Scope to read super clear.
It's called a periscope.
It's called a periscope.
Yes, sir. It's a periscope. Yeah, please get that right.
I call it the electronic eviction notice, because when it shines on them, their ass is evicted. I can tell you, they leaving the building. And I like to refer to it as, I tell my marshal, I said, I'm going to shine this electronic eviction notice around in these trees. He goes, what? I said, this thing right here. It does change the game a little bit. It does. But I think the fish are getting smarter. I think they're catching on to it.
Everything evolves, G. We know that. We know everything evolves.
The question is for you guys, because, see, I've been thinking of questions too, is what did y'all think of ICAST?
Well, I didn't go to ICAST, actually. Forgive me for saying this. I feel I got lucky and didn't have to go this year.
Yeah, because we all come home with COVID. We had a great ICAST.
Yeah.
I think everybody got sick. It wasn't the end of the world, but a lot of that went around. But I was just kind of curious to get out of the industry guys, like outside looking in, guys that do the podcast and everything. Because I felt like it was a super busy ICAST, a super productive, a lot of buyers in there hustling. And then I heard other anglers telling people, I thought it was pretty slow, but I didn't see that. So I was just trying to get that second opinion.
Well, I saw, obviously, a lot of buzz on the internet. I mean, of course. I got lucky. My two of my major advertising partners here are Berkley and Sims, and and they were like, "You can come if you want to come." And I'm like, "I'm just going to stay home and go fishing if that's cool."
Just chill out. Hey, it's a good move. I mean, it was a great ICAST, but it seemed like a lot of people left with COVID, you know.
Yeah, I know. You still sound a little verklempt.
Dude, it had me down. Like I mean, I wasn't bad, just a sore throat and everything. My wife didn't get it, but I know I talked to my guys that were paddling. I think like 15 of the 18 of those guys come home with it. Jacobson got it. Like it went pretty rampant around there, but not. It's just a sore throat, a little fatigue, and it could have been just a busy ICAST. But I think that's just something we're going to deal with right now. It's just like it's the cost of doing business. It's like $5 a gallon gas. You're like, hey, if I'm going to work, I'm probably going to get. I've had it 3 times. I'm like, what the hell? Bring it. Bring it.
Just keep your head down, run the ball. That's all you can do.
Yes, run the ball. I'm like, hey, you didn't get me the first 3 times. I'm feeling luckier by the minute right here.
All right. Back to last time when we left G-Man. You requalified for the Elite Series. You left us for a little bit, and then you requalified. Came back in 20, and now you're one of America's favorite bass fishermen.
Well, I appreciate that. I mean, I did. Of course, I'm sure y'all hearing all the scuttle about the qualifications now, because that seems to be a big topic.
We just did a whole dang show on it. What do you think?
Oh my! I'm the guy that looks at it. I try to find a positive in everything. I think if you listen to Randy Blockett, you want to slit your own throat with a rubber knife and eat raw chicken. A guy that thinks that his crystal meth math in the Missouri mountains of methane says that it's easier to do the top 3 out of 240 than it is to do possibly the top 9 out of 150. Now, if he could give that math to me, I'll start watching his videos, but that ain't going to add up. It's going to be better for a full-time angler, a guy who wants to. I looked at like I'm the different. Of course, you know me. I'm always going to look at it different, and I try to be realistic. But I have guys that say, and I actually was approached a couple of times. It was funny. One of them was Brian Robinson. I think the world Brian Robinson. He walked up to me. He goes, he said the announcement. I just didn't really read it good, and I don't know. He said, "What do you think?" I said, "Well, let me break it down to you." I said, "Let's look at that overall points championship. The guy that fished all night." I said, "Brian, let's look at that as a draft in NFL." So I said, even the guys that make the top 9, we know that they're probably the top 9 draft picks in the country next year because they proved it to everybody. Even the guys on your Stray Cast, they know, hey, these 9 guys went over 9 tournaments and performed at the highest level. So if you were going to draft somebody, if you and I were going to spend some money on somebody, I'm probably going to look at one of those guys, even one of the guys that might have made the top 20 100%. That might not have qualified.
Absolutely.
I just look at this guy and say, hey, here's a 20-year-old kid that fished all of them. So I was like, when you look at it like that, he said, well, if I look at it like that, it makes 100% good sense. It tells companies where to spend the money. But I said, what we're looking for is the guys who really want to do it. And I said, so when I hear people say,
it's a purge, it's a cult.
Right. Well, they just say you stole my dream. But no. It wasn't intended. If somebody making you fish more stole your dream, it wasn't a dream anyway.
Yeah.
Think about that. You've been asked to fish more and you're saying they stole your dream. No. You still can fish the Bassmasters Classic by fishing those 3 in those divisions. If you win one, you go to the Classic. That's the biggest fisherman's dream out there. 100%. Going to fish the Elite Series and paying $45,000 or $50,000 in entries and $25,000, $30,000 more in expenses may not be the dream you're looking for. It ain't going to be Marianne and Ginger on Gilligan's Island. It's going to be the Skipper and Gilligan. It's a lot.
You don't want all that,
right? So I'm like, that's a work commitment. And I heard people say, well, I don't have 9 weeks. Okay. If you don't have 9 weeks in 2022, what makes me think you're going to have 9 weeks in 2023?
Yeah. Buddy.
Can anybody answer me that? Because that's what you're fishing for.
There's always going to be an opportunity where there's a will, there's a way. If you want something bad enough, you dive all in and you see what happens. You throw it at the wall, and if it sticks, God bless you.
Right. And that's like, I think when you want it, if somebody said, hey, we're going to offer you a chance, because you can go fish 3 tournaments and you fish against some tough locals. You could have a motor or spin a hub, something can go wrong and you're out. This way, dude, we're going to let guys watch. And I said, you watch what I'm telling you. Sponsors are going to spend more money on the guys in that top that's fishing both sides because they're going to watch guys who are trying to make a career out of it. Not somebody who's trying to dip their toe in and go, if I make it, I might try it.
Figure it out.
I think Bass is simply saying, hey, we want to know who is the best. If we want to have the Elite Series field to be the top in the country, let's find them. And I think it's a good way. It's different. And I do. People's like, well, hey, we didn't steal the dream. You can still fish the Classic, man. You can still fish the Classic. Right. You win one, you go into the biggest bass fishing show in the world. But there's a lot of eyes on that top 9. Yeah. And there's a lot of guys in there. And I think we're going to see the best come to the top. And I just think change is different. Could Bass may have done a little bit different press release at first to help people understand it? Maybe. But I don't think it's a bad thing.
You ain't going to keep everybody happy no matter what, G. You know
no matter what. But I do think it's going to be a lot easier to read. And I had actually talked about this. That, a guy that fishes 3, he could slide under the radar, and you and I might not even know a lot about him when he gets to the elites, which is almost unjust to him because he's not getting the traction that he needs to get on the podcast, to get on the shows, because there's so much going on. But if he goes through that series of 9 tournaments, you can bet when he walks on the Elite Series and says, I'm ready to play ball, they're going to know who he is.
Yeah, and
everybody's going to know who he is.
I agree, and I think that this is more of a minor league thing. We even have a brand new segment on Straight Cast we're doing once a month called Into the Great Wide Opens, and it's featuring Opens anglers.
It's brilliant, and I think it's still, that's still classic spots there. So I laugh when somebody said, man, these guys are saying you're still in their dream. The people are still in their dream. I said, so they ask them to fish more tournaments and they want to fish for a living, but yet they said they stole the dream. I'm going with some of that block-it math on that. That doesn't add up. I mean, it just doesn't add up. I mean, to hear him say it, that he just thought the odds were so much better. And I think that's what's wrong is there's so much bad information coming at these people that it's really hard to sift through what's fact.
It's the dang internet. You can't. Everybody believes everything.
You can't believe it. It's like TikTok. Not all them girls look that nice on TikTok. It's a filter.
Yeah, exactly.
It is what it is, So I'm that weird guy that says I think it'll be good. I think it's going to be the next step into taking it to the next level. And I think it's going to give you guys, and I always talked about it. I said, man, what a great story. If you guys have the guy on 3 or 4 tournaments into it, he's a rookie, he's leading the points. What a great story for you guys. You get to know a new angler. You get to hear the story. You know this guy before he gets in that boat, and you talking about my difference maker in the business world of bass fishing. When he can go to ICAST and say, I won the overall points last year, sponsors are immediately going to shake his hand and say, let's talk to you a little bit.
Way bigger.
And I think that's what we're grooming is I think some of the guys don't realize that they're grooming him to make more money when they get in so they can stay longer.
Legitimizing.
Right. And it's a tough business to hold out there because a lot of people just say, well, you made it through one division, but we've only seen you in 3 tournaments. It's a fair statement to them. It's not saying that you're not one of the best anglers in the country. They just don't know of you yet like they need to invest the kind of money that you need to sustain the bills to stay out there. So this, I think, is going to be a balance.
100%.
I think it's going to be a cool setup going across the board. And, guys are like, well, man, I can't take off 9 weeks. I said, well, look at it like this. Some of those guys are making a commitment on 3 tournaments, and they may go fish there 60 days, guys, before you get there. So would you rather fish against a guy who's been somewhere for a week or for 60 days?
Yeah, exactly.
So I said,
and that's math. That's math.
That's math. And that's math. You're getting. A guy said, I got 3 tournaments, and you can't blame that guy. He's just wanting to get in. But if you come over and you got three lakes and you can spend 60, 80 days on each lake, you're going to be pretty deadly when you get there. 100%. Versus 9, when you have to mix all that up, things can happen. So versatility is going to shine. Good stories are going to shine, and we're going to find the best anglers in the country.
Heck yeah. You want to hear some cool math?
Come on.
Yeah, I got some Gerald Swindle math.
Come on.
I mean, this is not mountain math. This is actual proper.
This is not crystal methany math.
Yes, this is not even, nothing like it. It ain't no dangerous wood shack with fumes and smoke. It's none of that. It has no blue hue to it. This is Gerald Swindle Bassmaster math. Now get this, G. All right, I got to tell you this. This is pretty impressive. You're going to freak out. You've been in. How many years you been at this? You said
it's my 24th year.
24th year. In BASS, you fished 304 derbs, bud. Yikes!
That's old. I should be getting free coffee at Hardee's or
you really should.
Like that. Just free drinks.
You really
I'm
should.
old. Get my Social Security card.
Yeah, you should get free biscuits and gravy wherever you go. Wherever you go. But hey, you cash checks in 211 of those derbs.
Yeah, got some work to do.
Come on. That's not bad. That's not bad. Look at this. This is the pretty cool part. All right. Now, Lulu knows this already. Leanne already knows this stuff, and I'm just going to give her an opportunity to buy some more nice things for the both of you.
Okay.
Right? Are you ready? So,
yes, sir.
You, in your bassin career, have won $2,337,246. That's $2,337,246. That's a lot, G, right? Yeah. Everybody likes to count pro bass fishermen's money.
Yeah,
they do. But bass fans do that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now get this: you have caught. This is impressive. In all these derbs, 9,391 pounds of fish.
At 1 pound a time, that's pretty good.
Now here's the real deal, Gingy, Andrew Ellenberger, the Ginger Ninja. Do some fancy Gerald Swindle mathing. And please tell me what that equates to per pound. Every pound that G catches.
So according to the G calculator,
yes,
it's $248.80 per pound.
Per pound.
Yes, $248 a pound, bud.
Ooh, that's almost like eating that daggum hot dog down at ICAST. That's about what that was. That's not what it costs.
So you got to have Lulu put in her inspirational notes in the morning. Every time you lose a 4-pounder, G, that's $1,000.
Cost us $1,000. I've actually looked at it a little bit like that before when people are like, man, it was just a bass. I'm like, if you had to figure out what some of those fish might have cost per ounce, you might have been way up there. It might have been like an illegal drug trade because like it could get expensive when they flop off.
Contraband. Yes.
100%.
Yes. That's pretty impressive.
I mean, you guys do some pretty good studying, man. I'll give y'all that.
We just probed Ronnie Moore for it, and he enjoyed every minute of it.
Well, he does like a little probe, and he's got the facts, though. You just got to kind of pluck him around there and get him to give them to you.
Yeah. And congratulations to Ronnie. He's doing really good for himself.
He's doing really good.
We're proud of that kid.
He's still a youngster. I can call him a youngster. You guys can call him a youngster.
Yeah, you and I are the same age, G. Yeah.
We're not crippled. I tell everybody, don't let the hair fool you. I said that snow on the roof don't mean there ain't fire in the cellar.
That's right.
It's just a little snow on the roof.
There's plenty of fire in the cold. You know what I mean?
You got. I said I still got a lot of fight in me. It just takes me longer to get there sometimes. That's the crazy thing about fishing. Is like I don't know that desire wears off. Someone was asking me the other day, it's like, do you still like it? And I'm like, I have the more desire to be successful now on and off the water than I did when I was 30.
It's nuts. It's a drive because it's our passion, G. It's our passion. That's our common denominator. Every single one of us. That's it. It's the bass. It's the fish.
It's the fish, and we joke a lot and we cut up, but I'm gonna hit you on a serious note. I want you two guys to think about something as we're talking this. Because I've made this comment before. I say, I think I can take a bass, and let's just look at a bass and the color green.
Yes,
now, this is going to get a little deep on you pretty quick.
I like it because we're about to get deep. You go.
All right. So it's a green bass. I said I can take the color of a bass and put it between any nationality, any person in the world that have fishing in common, and I can make a friendship.
You're right.
I said the color green washes out every color of race, argumentative, political side, whatever you want. You take a bass, and I can drive up in the worst gas station or the best gas station. If somebody sees a sticker on that back window, or I see a sticker on the back window fishing, we instantly have something in common. I think that's the power of bass that we want to put a dollar figure on it sometime. But I think it's bigger than that, man. I think it's bigger than that. It puts. I have had the opportunity to share the boat with people that I would have never run across in my life 100%. If it wasn't for that bass.
Dude, it's crazy.
So you got to realize the power of the bass. The color green washes out hatred. It washes out political views. It washes out race battles. It literally just stands for let's have a good time.
That's beautiful, G. And the fact, it really is.
Yeah.
They love it.
It's a little deep. I got a little deep on
No,
you,
dude, I see. No, that is so true because that common bond, look at everybody. Look at the wide array of characters that we have in bass fishing that have basically zero commonality except this fish that brings us together. And here's the problem. We'll talk a little more industry stuff later, G. But what I see is the problem people have is when they forget that they're only here because of this fish.
Yeah, they get lost. I think sometimes it's easy for someone to, I hate to use this, drink their own Kool-Aid or think that the world's going to shut down without them or fishing is going to be lost without them. dude, you could take all of us away from fishing. I could leave tomorrow and the fishing's still going to be the same. You're just on the bus ride of fishing. You're not driving it. And that's what I tell people. When I made my decision to come back to bass, I knew this was my home, and it was hard to say it then. I was like, I knew I was not invincible, and I knew that where I was at was not where I wanted. And I was like, I didn't want to drive the bus. I just wanted to ride on the bus. And I was like, I feel like that's where I'm at in bass fishing. If you think you're going to drive it, trust me, you're not. You're just here for a good time.
Yeah, there's
the sport's going to rock on without you, baby. Just get in and enjoy it. I say, get in where you fit in.
That bass is swimming and hang on to it as long as you can, like a porpoise.
It's the coolest place in the world, man. But you can't think that you control it in a way that you could stop the love for it, or if you stop fishing, people are going to just mourn. No. People are going to keep fishing, bro. They love it. They're just going to keep fishing. They love celebrating with certain anglers. And I'm just like, I think that really hit me, man. It's like, I like the fans and I like being a part of it. And I do know that, I don't want to miss out on any more.
Heck yeah. That's deep. Let's keep getting deep. You want to get deep?
Deep it is.
Let's get
Come
on.
on.
Before we go, I'm getting reminded here. I forgot to tell you, but you have to contribute a special G-Man super extraordinaire like and share contest pack tonight to the viewers of Stray Cast. So
I just got that.
Yeah.
Okay, so look, I got apple from Lulu.
Okay, well that's perfect. The viewers will enjoy that.
I got a banana and I got a homemade tomato out of my garden. Like I got Watson's horn. I just
well, that's a prize in itself right there. So all the viewers have to do is like and share this live Facebook feed, and G's going to send you some produce and a Watson horn.
I'll come up with something. You get them to like and share it. I'll come up with something. It may not be iconic. I mean, I'm looking around in here. I got Rice Krispies, maple syrup. My wife's got some homemade zucchini bread.
Wow.
I mean, I can come up with something.
Come up with a nice little, like a little Meals on Wheels G-Pack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's a cool prize pack right there.
Just randomly started giving stuff away.
That's how we do it, G. That's how we do it around here. Hey, let's get deep.
James Watson did mail me his toenails one time, so I think shipping somebody a deer horn wouldn't be that bad of an idea.
No, not at all. And especially, I hope you sterilized yourself after.
Oh my God!
Well.
So we're ready to get deep. You got something deep for me?
I do. Here, now I got.
I'm in.
I want to go. I want to philosophize a little bit with you.
Oh yeah, I like that.
So I want to ask you about you and about what you think of you. So my first question to you, G, is who is G-Man? And what is it like to be G-Man? Who is G-Man, and what the heck is it like to be G-Man?
Oh, man,
isn't that weird? Isn't that weird?
Deep.
Yeah.
What is it like to be me? God, it's like, that's funny because the way I've always seen myself is when I get up in the morning, and it'll be the same thing in the morning. When I look in the mirror, I'm never happy with the man I see. I want to be a better fisherman. Always. That's just driven in you. And but what I really want to do is always try to be a better person. I want to be a better me. I want to be a better version of me. And then I think, so with that, I'm never satisfied. Like, I'm never happy, like looking at something. I never just sit on it and go, man, that's great. Let's just live on this accomplishment. Being me is kind of weird sometimes. I never have gotten really super used to people taking pictures and talking all the time, and in airports and everywhere we go.
Yeah.
So sometimes I feel a little embarrassed, but I embrace it. Overwhelmed, very humbled, and I have people walk up and they're like, I don't know how to respond to people when they walk up and they're like, you're my son's hero, and I'm like, man, I ain't a hero, guys. I can just tell you that I'm a redneck, but like, I don't know what the correct answer is. It's flattering to me. I've just never seen myself like that. And when I wake up in the morning, the fear of failure is going to drive me. The fear of being broke is going to push me. The fear of going hungry is going to make me not ever quit. Saying that I worked hard yesterday doesn't mean I don't have to work harder tomorrow. I got these weird things in my mind of how I see myself. So like, being G-Man sometimes is weird from the inside looking out.
Dude.
I love the fans. It's so weird to get used to when people walk up to you and notice you, and you're just like, I'm like, who would have ever thought?
It's G-Man. You're like, you're at the gosh dang Cracker Barrel, and they're like, holy shit, it's Gerald Swindle.
Dude, it's
Mick
in
Jagger.
The airport.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, you walk in gas stations and places everywhere now, and they notice you. My wife's like, it's rarity that he doesn't go somewhere that people don't know him anymore. And I'm like, I would have never dreamed that. And that's such a blessing, but
it's a powerful fish, G. It's a powerful fish.
Pretty deep thought you had there. What it's like to be me. Pretty deep. I didn't know you guys were going to like that's
Dude,
pretty good.
We always go deep.
If you got more, I'm in.
Oh, I got tons more. Don't you worry. I'm a plethora of deepness.
You're like a proctologist with long fingers.
Well, thank you. Yes, my psychologist says that as well. Hey, 10-year-old you. Like, we talked a minute about that, but think about this. I asked you at Gerald Swindle who Gerald Swindle is. Now, and you said, hey, man, I go up, there's people in the airport, they say, you're my boy's hero. Now, let's think about 10-year-old Gerald Swindle. And the first thing I want to ask you is, what does 10-year-old Gerald Swindle think of 2006 Gerald Swindle? That magic 2006 Gerald Swindle.
I think when you look at that, like that kid at 10 was so far out in the country. I want to say sticks. Lived such a remote farm life as a farmer. He had no idea that was even possible. It would have probably seemed like it would have been a better chance for me to go to the moon. That was really what it was like. I mean, at 10 years old, dude, I was squirrel hunting by myself. I was fishing in the creeks by myself. I walked everywhere I went. I rode my bike. Like chaperone in the outdoors didn't exist. My mom and dad turned me loose. I drank out of a water hose. I ate paint chips. I worked in the fields. So like 10-year-old me didn't have enough sense to look that forward and say what a great accomplishment that would be. But I think if you could take 28-year-old me that wanted to look back at 10-year-old me, I would tell myself to put on a seatbelt and never sell yourself short. Never sell yourself. Never think that where you come from is going to dictate where you're going to go. Never let somebody tell you that you're not educated enough to make it in a marketing world. Never let somebody tell you that you're naturally not gifted enough that you can't catch a fish. Never let somebody tell you that not having the finest electronics on at 17 and 18 years old is going to stop you from winning.
Right.
That 28-year-old me talking to 10-year-old me would be one hell of a conversation, because I would flat set him down and say, look here, there's going to be a lot of bumps in the road, and there's going to be some big creeks you can't jump across. But all I can tell you is you get to run and go, try like hell, and get up and do it again, because it's not going to make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
It don't.
But when you get to the top of where you want to go, the view is unbelievable. You know, and that's 10-year-old me, dude, just didn't have enough sense. I was still stuck on with Marianne and Ginger, you know.
Oh, yeah. You wanted on that island. Yeah.
Oh, my God, dude. If I'd have been on that island. Of course, hey, if I'd have been on a lot of these reality shows, I see it'd be a lot different. Because if I was on Naked and Afraid, it would be not Naked and Afraid anymore. It'd just be Naked and Scared, because I'd be like killing deer. And like all them animals I'd see when they come back to get me, I'd say, I'm not going home.
Exactly.
I ain't going home.
What if you were on The Bachelor like Velvic?
Oh, my God. I couldn't do all that drama, man. Way too much drama. Well, I just rather be on farmersonly.com. But now I think I could do the show alone. I think I Naked and Afraid, I think I could do, but I'd have to get outside the rules. I'd probably get kicked off there. But some of these talk shows are crazy. But 10-year-old me didn't know any better then. I guess I was practicing being on Survivor.
There you go. Hey, well, check this out. 10-year-old looking at Gerald Swindle right now, 2022. The aged, sophisticated, seasoned Gerald Swindle.
I think the 10-year-old me looking at the 52-year-old me be like, damn, you shouldn't have jumped that bicycle. You walking cookie. That's what he would say.
You dumbass.
You broke your foot. Look at your legs sticking out, dummy. I told you to quit snorting that gas out of the lawnmower. Look how you act. You know, I think the 10-year-old me would probably honestly, I could picture myself where I come from on a farm life looking at me now, and I think he would probably just sit there with a little dirt on his face and smile.
Yeah, dude.
Just say you did what a lot of folks wouldn't say you would do. The 18-year-old me was a lot more vindictive because I'd already been told that I couldn't. The 10-year-old me was still naive enough to think, you know, the world's innocent, do what you want to do. The 18 to 20-year-old me kind of got a taste of it, and now I think I would just sit there, my hands in my pockets, and just kind of smile and go, "Yep, you got him.
You got him.
You got him."
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I mean, and just think about it. It's the evolution of this entire process. It's almost, as you said, unfathomable
Right.
And I think when any human gets to the point where whatever they do as their occupation is something they enjoy or their love or their passion, that's kind of like maybe a life's goal for most humans, isn't it?
It should be. It should be. It should be that what you do is what you love. And I think the confusion is you have people say, man, I love it. But some people get confused with, if I love it, then it shouldn't be work. No. That's a misconception. Doing what you love doesn't mean you're not going to work. It's going to mean you work harder. You guys love doing what y'all are doing right now. You can tell it. And you probably put in more hours now than you ever did.
Sure.
But it doesn't feel as bad.
No.
Because you know why? You're kind of driving the bus. It's your decision. You can cut the grass as tall as you want or as short as you want.
Yeah, I'm Otto on The Simpsons, and I'm driving the bus. Yes.
Right. So it's like, it's different. The work's there. You're just as mentally and physically tired. So fishing, a little bit same way to me. I'm working more hours now than I probably ever did. But I still love it, so it doesn't feel as bad. So you tell people, just because you love it doesn't mean it's not going to be tough. Doesn't mean it ain't going to be physical. Doesn't mean you're not going to fail. Love is just something that kind of balances it out as you work through it.
Yeah, well said, G. Really. I mean, and 10-year-old you loves you. Yeah.
He would have probably still been listening to the same music, but he would have been like, God, you sure are bow-legged. We should. I just, probably just me.
Here's another deep one. I'm going to keep going. We're going deeper. I mean, we got 2 shovels now. We're going deep. Now, tell me about the first lesson you ever learned in life. The first lesson, the first real life lesson you ever learned, Gerald Swindle.
Is that when my father told you no, he meant no.
Wow.
Yeah. Non-negotiable.
My hair stood up. I related. My hair stood up a little bit on my neck.
The first thing I remember really learning as a kid is my father taught me that when I say no, it means no. It's not to be brought up again. Yeah. And I think from that blended over to in life that you get told no, it doesn't mean it's the end of the game. But you respect that person to say no, and you move around and you try to figure out a way to accomplish it. So, like, that was one of the first hard lessons I learned.
Gee, that's tough because think about it. No disrespect, you're pretty lippy, and
yeah, I mean, trust me, my dad could check you. Somebody asked me, said, "Was your dad that tough on you?" I said, "My dad could beat polio out of you." I said, my dad could cure anything wrong with you." But what I learned is that some men, when my father raised me, I learned that there's men's men and there's men of the word. My daddy never yelled at me. My daddy never raised a drunken finger at me. He never cussed my mom. He never even raised his voice in front of my mom.
God bless him.
But when he said no, he meant no. And you didn't ask again. You know, so you realize sometimes in life that you just need to shut up. I guess is what that first lesson I learned is like, shut up, you know. And then I got some fishing. I tell everybody I got just as bad a whoopings out of a 14-foot John boat. I can remember watching my dad scuttle. Here's y'all a lesson. You ever seen someone scuttle a paddle?
Oh, of course. Yeah. It's an art.
All right. My dad's arms were like this big around when he was like in his
like
40s.
Popeye's forearms?
Dude, and if he grabbed you, it felt like a bald eagle with a talon just grabbed you. And I could remember watching him sit on front of that aluminum boat and scuttle that paddle, just scuttle down this little river that we lived on, and almost looked effortless. And I can remember watching him as a kid. You got to think, man, I'm 12, 13. I can remember seeing the veins in his arms look like number 2 pencils. And I can watch his wrist turn that paddle. And as I was thinking, I want to do that. And when he wasn't looking and when he wasn't around, I'd jump up on front of that boat and I'd try to do that. And I was thinking, just how strong is this guy? And then I always come back to say, he's as strong as he had to be to raise 3 kids and 3 boys. But I can remember that was the little things, those lessons in life. I would watch him do something that looked effortless. But yet he would take me down that river and never complain. We would paddle for miles. My mom made biscuits, and this is not good for your health. She would put these big cat head biscuits, and she would put at least a half a stick of butter on one of them. Oh. He would put straight table sugar, just pour sugar all over the biscuits, roll them up in aluminum foil, throw them in the floor of the boat, and that was your lunch.
Oh,
but I can remember those days like you had a jug of water that he got out of a well, but how simple was it? You didn't worry about, hey, do we got drinks and snacks? I got an extra Mountain Dew. No, you've got a biscuit and you've got a big bucket of water. And at the end of the day, you go home. And I look back on it and I was thinking, how great could that be as a kid? Because now kids can't go anywhere. We got you have your iPhone, your iPad, your earbuds, your hat, your helmet, your mouthpiece. If you got your medicine, I'm like, back then, I didn't care if I had shoes on. You know what I mean? And so those lessons I learned at that age were so simple, but left such a significant meaning of what I should do and how I should treat my elders. And I think that's what stuck out to me as a kid is this is how you treat people that are older than you. And it's funny because I've said yes or no, sir, to somebody. And I had a lady the other day. She said, sir, you don't have to say sir to me. Say ma'am to me. And I said, ma'am, I understand that. And I said, but to my daddy's dead and gone, I'm going to say ma'am to you.
Nice. I love it.
It's just how it is. So like my lessons might have been corny as a kid. You know, I learned that you can't eat cow patties. They're kind of crunchy, but they don't. But that I didn't want to tell you about those lessons. You know, I had some tough ones. I shot my dad's duck with a bow. My mom bought me. I whittled the end of it off and shot my dad's duck. And that whipping didn't work out good for me. And then my dad told me not to go to the pond. I snuck down there and throwing a mud bug, caught one of his cows in the tail. That was hard to explain. I mean, I had some epic fails as a kid. I learned gravity with a slingshot because I shot it straight up there at a flock of blackbirds, and it come down through my mom's LTD back window. And well, that didn't work out good for me neither. So, I mean, I had some tough lessons, but the most memorable was respect your adults. I was not a brilliant kid. I've tried some stuff now, I can tell you.
You sound like that kid in the neighborhood we'd have do dares. Like,
I would jump bike ramps. My brothers dared me to jump on a cow one time. We had a stall, and my two other brothers, we got up and we basically like, we're gonna be cowboys. And I had my little shirt on, and they were both older than me. I couldn't have been 7 or 8. They had that cow in that stall. When he come around, I just dove on him like a spider monkey, and the gate flung open. I can just remember it was just elbows and buttholes across that field. I'm thinking, my brother's hollering, hold on. And of course, my mom's ready to kill us. And I'm like, well, that didn't work out so good either. And they were mad at me for not holding on. They're like, if you'd have just held on, we wouldn't have got in trouble. Well, all I had was the top of that cow's head, and it wasn't working out good. So like, I had to figure some stuff out as a kid. And I wasn't. When I get on stage and I say, I wasn't the smartest kid in school, I'm not making that up, okay?
You got thrown to the wolves, G.
I got thrown to the wolves, and you just learn from your mistakes.
With that being said, learning from your mistakes. Let's say, God forbid, you caught a charge, G. Let's say you caught a charge doing a little something, and you got community service. What would be the worst community service that a judge could give G-Man?
He could make me guide.
You know who loved that answer? Seth Fighter just loved that answer.
Yeah, I mean, if he made me be a guide, I would be like, I'll pick up trash, sweep the prison floor, I'll feed soup to the hungry. Just don't make me guide.
Don't do it.
That would be the worst.
Wait, does Dan Quinn count as a client for guiding or no?
No, he's on the buddy list.
Okay, good. List. Okay, good. We love Danny.
He'd get off easy. Yeah,
we love Danny. Yes.
Dan would not be on the guide list. He'd be on the VIP. Now, he wouldn't get guide treatment either. He wouldn't. It would be buddy treatment, like sit down, shut up, rig your own stuff up. We're going fishing kind of treatment.
Last time I saw Danny, he had some pretty fancy G-Man sticks. Prototype.
He was looking at that.
Yeah, he had some. He
was looking at them 13. Right, 13's come a long way with my stuff, dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
bud.
It was a really good ICAST.
Yeah, 10-year-old you loves that you got to design your own fishing rod line.
It did. I mean, I knew I wanted to take this project on. I just didn't know how much work was going to be involved in to go from. I'm talking about. I wanted to be involved from the making, from the ground up, not just hey, put my name on that. It looks cool. Sell them here. No, I wanted to get hands on. I'm always been that guy. So. We're almost 2 years into it. So to see it at ICAST was a little bit overwhelming. Like when I round this corner, I'm like, because I've had so many hours in this garage that nobody's seen. We're working on tackle, trying blanks, and breaking things. And people are like, man, I can't believe you break blanks. Well, if you're not breaking them, I can promise you that you're not doing the customer a good deed.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because if you're not out testing them and trying to get him the best product, you're shorting everybody. So like I spent a lot of hours behind the scene finding stuff that broke, finding stuff that we didn't want and trying to build the rod that for $150. So I took a huge learning curve in this from the ground up, and to get to ICAST and be received like I were with the big box stores and the fans, it was pretty overwhelming. Now that part kind of got to me because you just never know. I mean, it was a whole product of love that I got on here, and I drove Ricky and Matt to drinking, but I wanted it. I enjoyed the process of doing it. You know, I wanted to know what it was like to start to finish, to understand everything about that rod that I could.
Yeah, and I think it's really cool. Like I love fishing rods. I've built custom rods for years. We're with Alpha and Abu Garcia, and we understand quality stuff. And I think that the fact that you were able to take all that time and develop, actually, I saw your videos, G, and I've been watching the whole progress because I'm into stuff like that. Yeah. And the fact that you were able to custom tailor design blanked actions for the way you fish. It's for how you fish. It might not be how for Ginge fishes or how I fish or how other people, but it kind of fits G's style, and I think a lot of people's style, actually.
And we kept the customer in mind, and that's what Ricky and Matt and all the guys at 13 said when I started. It's like, do you want to build a $400 rod or a $500 rod? And I'm like, no, I want a $150, and they all just looked at me. I'm like, that's my fans. Nice. That's OG when he was farming. You know, it's about what I could have. You know, looking at that now, of course, I say the new $20 bill is $100 bill, so $150 rod's not what it used to be. Like, it's hard to get that quality in there. So we pushed it. We pushed it for the customer, and I wanted something that was basic across the board that could serve every purpose. Now, here's what I will tell you that the other pros are not going to like to hear. There's a lot of pros out there fishing rods that don't know jack about them. They know how to use them. Yeah. They know how to, and they'll beat you to death with them. They don't know how to make them.
I agree.
They don't know what goes into that. They don't know the equations and the time and the effort it takes for a rod builder to sit and do that and do it right. I can respect that now because I've chased that product from the bottom up, and I got a whole new respect for the timing from overseas back to getting things done, to testing, to how they tested, to how I tested it. I wanted that, and I got it. But I can tell you, when somebody asks me out there, it's like, hey, man, I want these companies to build a signature series rod to me. I'm like, and you need to get you an education in physics and rods because it's not what you think.
Yeah, exactly. And well put. I mean, and it is a science. People don't realize.
It's a science.
They don't realize
it's a science. Like, people have no idea of the math and everything that's pulled off on that. And I had struggled so hard relating that, even when I was working on my reel. Matt's the reel designer, dude. He's awesome. But like, me trying to communicate with Matt, a guy with an engineering degree, and here I am out on the lake, and I'm like, the spool's floating, and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. But like, we had to grow to work together. Like, I could tell him what I felt like it was doing in my hands, but I didn't know every part of the reel to explain it to him.
Right.
That's where it gets complicated. And I could pick a rod up and say, hey, I think this is this, but you have to learn how to fix that. So that was the cool part. And once Matt, I think, built his confidence up with me to say, hey, G's not just jacking around with me. He thinks something's going on. The spool's floating in the side of the bearing or something at a perfect cast speed. Let's find it. That's what it takes for you, the customer, the guy who's going to go into a Dixon Academy, Fur, Fin, and Feathers and buy a rod and reel. For you to get the best, somebody's got to go through that. Mm-hmm. Somebody has to do that. If not, you're going to get a product that's subpar. It's going to break. They're all, no matter, of course, everybody says, is there a rod and reel out there that don't break? There's no such thing. No. There's no such thing.
Cool that you put the time into it for people. I mean,
I tried my best to build it as tough as I could, but it's still going to be a chance that it could fail at some level. Whatever. I just want to take as much as that out as I could.
Gosh dang DeWalt drill feel on the job.
I mean, hey, I have bought brand new side-by-side Ranger whoopsicles and them suckers not run. I mean, I bought tractors that paid $50,000 and it wouldn't run. So like, failure is a part of mechanical stuff. But like, you building rods, you know, I can just see you guys in there meticulously doing that. You know, the tapers and the mandrels and how quick things can change. And when you talk to other guys, they start looking at you. I'm like, you don't have a clue, bro.
Yeah,
you don't have a clue.
Here's what I want to ask you, and this is where I want to pick your brain about. I'm going to selfishly use this for my own good, but you are a jig skipping son of a gun. You old sailor.
I'm also a slackliner, and that's a rod builder's worst nightmare.
We had quite a hook set compilation of you up on it. But anyway, like, so I want to ask you, G, what is the perfect G? You love that ball jig, skipping it under docks. We know that about you. What's G's skipping rod?
I think overall, for anybody who wanted to pick it up, I'm comfortable with a 7.4, 7.3, or 7.2. But if I had to pick the one overall, it'd be a 7.2 medium heavy because it's better for every physical build of person. The wrist strength, people build up their wrist strength, and that can control how long a rod skips. So for me to say, hey, I feel very comfortable skipping a 7.4 medium heavy, it's a little bit of a bad statement to somebody who may not skip as much or have the total wrist strength, because it's controlled by your wrist. When your wrist gets weak, the rod tip's going to dip out on the end. You're going to hit the water too soon. You're going to make a bad cast. 7'2" medium heavy seems to be the right length with the right handle length. And if you'll notice, a lot of my metal series, I didn't go with the super long handle back up in your sweatshirt for that cast. So
I agree.
I think for the average strength of a fisherman, a 7.2 medium heavy, and that's what people say. What about the backhand, the skip we see you do? That's a whole different animal. You really got to work on your wrist strength. You need to stick around a 7.2 medium heavy. I can do it with a 7.3 medium heavy. I've done it with 7.4. But by end of a tournament day, if I'm not careful, fatigue starts to set in. I'm going to be more accurate with a 7.2 medium heavy.
Gotcha. And what pound string you skipping that jig on with that
18
rod?
and 20. 18 sunline, I do shooter, or 18 shooter, or 20 shooter. It just depends on the water and the size fish. And if it's super deep, like a Smith Lake, and I'm skipping and wanting the bait to fall a long way, I'll drop down to 16.
Gotcha. Majority of the time, are you 3/8 or half on that ball?
3/8.
3/8. What's the trailer?
I'll rock it all day long.
What's the G trailer?
I'm always going to usually have a Zoom Z crawl on there, or a twin tail.
Gotcha.
A twin tail skips good. It won't skip as good as a Z crawl, and it won't skip as good as the original Z hog, which has the flat legs. If you're looking for the easiest skipping bait, it's probably going to be a Z hog. I like the Z crawl because it swims. The tails kick like a brim falling, and the twin tail is good when the water starts cooling down. The twin tail does want to tumble in the water a little bit, so you have to kind of play with that a little bit.
Nice. I've learned that a lot. Like, G, thank you for being, like, for 11 years ago, first off, I want to say that you first came on our show on the Bass Buzz Radio, and then you're doing this deal now. But I've learned selfishly that from the get-go, ask guys that are the best at what they do how they do it, and then save that in your brain. And that's what I just did. That was a selfish question. I'm sorry.
And I appreciate it, but I tell people all the time, wrist strength and how you set your reel. People think that tightening your tension cast down on your reel, putting out more breaks is going to help them skip. 99% of the time, if you're skipping and the bait's coming out and going high and to the left, it's your reel's too tight. You're working, you're pulling your wrist all the way around. So you want your eyes to focus on where you want the bait to go. Never take it off that target. And when you turn the bait loose, your rod tip should be looking right as where you want the bait to go. And usually people who try to tighten it up are going to throw too hard. So Don't adjust that too much. Use your finger and don't try to throw too hard. Most people want to start too far out from the dock. They get too impatient. And I might just be patient. As you build your wrist strength up, then you can move the boat out further. It's just a little bit of an art. It's not that hard to do, but man, it can be so effective when it's right and the fish need to be snuck up on. It can be good.
You should do like educational exercises for fishing. Like, it would be like Richard Simmons. You know how Richard Simmons used to do that stuff, but it would be G-Man. So it'd be like skipping exercises.
Dude, you think I'm kidding you? But I do a lot of triceps.
Sweating to the oldies.
I go back to the gym and I do tri workouts and bi workouts and do a lot of wrist, like where you're curling with your wrist, because fishing and casting is your wrist, man. You watch guys that when it looks effortless, it's all on the wrist. When you do these big body over the top casts, you can only do them for so many days and you hurt.
Yeah, dude.
Casting's all in the wrist.
And hey, G, I got to tell you, man, you look good, dude. You do, bud. You're taking care of yourself.
I don't know about that. I've been known to drink a little too much, and I still will work till I fall down. But I tell everybody, I'm going to go wide open. I'll fall over, but,
Bud, you do. I ain't kidding you. Come on. I ain't blowing smoke at you. Now, no disrespect with this, but I research for this job, all right? So I see, I'm looking at Gerald Swindle in 2019, and you didn't look as good as you look now. I mean,
wore out.
You look thinner and a little frail and gray, and the hair
just
was
wasn't fishing good, and that works over on you mentally, and you don't feel good. You don't train as hard. You don't push yourself as hard, and I think that's the key. As you grow older in this sport, one of the things I paid attention to my predecessors before me is like guys who didn't adjust quick enough. It got really hard to get back on the front of the train. And I watched as electronics come in. I didn't want to sit on my heels. When social media come in, I was one of the first to say, I'm going to learn how to do this. I still can't spell Wednesday, but I can run the crap out of my own Facebook page.
Thank God
but
for
I
iPhone.
Can't spell. Yeah. So but I spell Wednesday so bad, it won't even find it. So if we're going to go fishing, I'm going to text you, we're going to go on Tuesday or Thursday, because it ain't ever going to be on Wednesday. But I didn't want to be left behind. So when social media come around, I dove in it. when more electronics come around, I dove in it. Like I constantly study what people before me I thought might have done that could have shortened their career or stopped the learning curve. And I think in this sport, when you quit trying to train physically and you quit trying to find yourself mentally and learn how to be stronger on the water mentally, and you quit learning the new electronics and new baits, that's when you get in trouble.
Yeah.
That's when you get into, because there's a whole busload of tacos waiting on you out there.
There really is.
I mean, and
there
you just
really
got to
is.
know that, man. And you got to use everything you can. And I got some humble pie this last weekend because I was at my farm working. I worked a couple days out in the woods with a boy running a bulldozer, big equipment. Feels pretty good. Me and the dog's out sweating. He's playing in the creek. We're just doing guy stuff. You know, we're just having a big time. The dog's eating honey buns, got diarrhea. We're slapping skeeters. And then I was like, I'm going to go help this guy finish up a little piece of his barn. And I ain't done construction in quite a while. And I worked 3 days inside of this guy's house. He turned into a barn. I come in and told my wife, I said, okay, I'm officially not 30 anymore. I said, that hurt, but I think I just come down to see if I can still do it. But like, you have to figure out a way to challenge yourself as you get older to compete with that, because the younger, more aggressive anglers are stronger. They use their youth against you. And I think it's just part of nature, man. You got to try to figure out a way to do it.
Yeah, dude. And I like that you said that, because I think that as any man or woman gets up in age, that it's important to stay fit, not only for physical appearance, but for mental. And may I share this with you? May I share you? I was at Aaron Martin's service there. You guys had a derb going on. It was the one that MLF had there in Alabama.
Yep.
And Leslie and Gary had me come out there, and I was out there, and I just, during the service, I kept thinking that Aaron was looking at me and saying, Pat, you're a big fatty right now. And
and he would say it in the most loving way.
What he would say to me, when I was getting a little thick, he would say, Pat, you're extra stout right now. That's how Aaron would say it to me. He would say, Pat, you're extra stout. And I kept hearing him tell me I was extra stout at his service. And after that, then we went to the classic after that, and then after that, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to get it together. And I always ran, but I increased my miles and motivated myself to, and it's the whole point of telling you all this and everyone in the Bass Galaxy is I saw it in you. I saw a transformation in you mentally, and I feel a transformation in myself mentally, and that was the transformation that Aaron was always on.
Yeah, he stayed there, bro. He stayed there. Like, he would come up to me all the time and just reach out and hug me and grab me by the arm, and he's like, bro, you hitting them push-ups, bro, Yeah. But he would always challenge me, you need to eat better. You need to run more, He stayed at the top of his game. Physically and mentally, his whole career.
And he wasn't always. He kind of used to eat a little shitty, in the California days. And
he might have smoked a cigarette. I say, Aaron, you smoke? He said, no, I smoke if somebody gives me one.
American Spirits, yes. And
he said, I don't buy them. That's bad luck to buy them. He said, I'm like, I like your style. You smoke somebody else's, but he had it here, and he knew where he needed to be. And I think, as I progress in my career, now I have to find ways to challenge myself as much as what you're doing. You have to find a way to challenge yourself, to push yourself, because it's real easy to get bored with going to the gym. I've been doing it forever, so I get bored with it. I get complacent. So maybe going out and lifting some 2x4s and moving some ladders around and going up and down a ladder for 3 days is my way of saying, hey, here's 3 days of CrossFit that I would have never done.
Hell yeah, I see you swinging a hammer, running.
It wasn't challenging. I'm like, this is a different style. And I'll go out and work in the building roads, and I'm walking up hills and down hills and scouting and pulling ribbons. And I'm like, so I think as we get older, maybe we have to find things that challenge us to push that physical side of us that we're not bored with it. Yeah. And I think that's where it gets, is you just get to the point like, I'm bored with the gym, I'm complacent. And then you get out on the water and you're like, this wasn't a good idea. I should have done more.
Yeah. I agree. And good to see you doing it, G. We like seeing you like this. We like seeing you. You like it too. Come on.
Yeah. I don't know. I was hurting yesterday. I told my wife, I said, I worked so hard, I got diarrhea. I can't walk straight. She said, well, you're not 40 anymore for sure. But I'm like, you want to still do those things. And I know that there's, in fishing, when it gets tough out there, it gets hot. It's funny because I'll have people say, man, how in the world do you fish in this heat? It doesn't bother me when I'm fishing. Now, it bothers me sometimes when I'm just out jacking around, but when you're fishing, it never even comes to
It's
play.
another planet, and the day just goes it's another.
I just self-fighter it. I just check out, and like I'll worry about how hot it was when I get home.
There it is. That kid hates the heat, by the way. hey, I need help, G. You could probably tell I need a lot of help, but I need some help. I need some advice from you because I feel you're a real smart guy. And I was telling Seth this earlier. I said, I'm going to ask G for some advice because I'm like, fighter, I need some help with this. And G's smart as hell. I'm going to ask him.
Come on. Oh, Lord, this ought to be good.
Now, I'm getting a little jaded. I can't help it. And I've been warned about this. Now, I've been in this game for 11 years now. All right? And the Straight Cast show been around for 7.
Yep.
And there's things that I see in the industry that I just don't like. And it is not bass fishing to me. It's not bass fishing. And I see, here's what I see, Gerald. I see, did you see how serious I was? I called you by your first name. I said,
I know. And
here's what I see, Gerald.
And because I'm thinking there's a lot of stuff I don't like. So I'm curious to hear what yours is.
Dude, I'm a purist when it comes to bass fishing. I admire the proper bassin men in the history of the game. And to me, the professionals rule all. If you are a professional bass angler, basically referring to an elite at an upper echelon level, let's say it's elites, it's BPT, FLW, whatever it is. Okay? Mm-hmm. Those are the people that you learn from. That is where the youth needs to learn from. Now, we're putting in, and I'm sounding like, listen to this old guy talking about bass. But here's the deal. We're being ruled now by Children of the Corn. Remember the movie Children of the Corn? All right. Now, we have TikTokers and YouTubers and everything else. And it's, now I learn from YouTubers. I do. There's certain YouTubers I learn from. I really don't learn from TikTok, but I learn about TNA, you know what I mean? Yeah, I blow with the pictures up. But anyway, but here's the thing, man. It's like there's different tiers. I don't feel that the fishing I think it needs to be stopped. The fishing industry cannot learn from anybody professionals or people that are actually doing the time. I'm confused. Help me. I think it's been accepted, and there's some great information that can be found on YouTube about fishing. But here's where, and I'll sum it up like this. I had a lady at Santee Cooper this year come up to me, and I was getting my boat worked on the day off, and she said, me and my son want to meet you in this. My son's on the high school fishing team, blah, 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 and he wants to fish, and he loves to play baseball. And she said he watches the YouTubers, and I won't say the names. She said she watches these YouTubers, and that's where he's learning to fish. And she said, what do you think else could I tell him to do? And I said, well, tell him to watch somebody else a little bit. And I said, hear me out on this. I said, if your son likes to play baseball, right? She said, oh, he loves it. I said, would you rather him go take hitting lessons from Chipper Jones or from Mulak Sulak down here that works down to YMCA? And she looked at me. I said, see where I'm going with that? I said, if he watches Kevin Van Dam throw a crankbait, you can go back and look at his accolades and say it must work. Yeah. Yeah. He
I
pays
said,
the
you
bills.
Can watch all the, you
pays
can
the
watch
bills.
all the YouTube. You can watch the YouTubers, and he might be teaching you some stuff that he's been taught, but he can't prove to you when it worked. Yeah. I said, if I tell you when to throw a skip a jig, I can tell you most of the time when it works, when it don't work, when it's going to have the highest chance, what the color is, what the best. I said, so you have to watch where your kids are getting their information because there's abundance of it out there. So I said, make sure he's watching somebody, if he aspires to want to fish for a living, that's already doing some of it for a living, that can help him with some of that stuff. Because they won't just tell him how to rig a Texas rig worm. They will tell him exactly what water temperature it's going to work best.
They won't hold it and spin it. They just won't hold the worm and spin it. But here's the thing.
And I said, most pros won't teach you. And I told that lady, I said, here's the oxymoron we're dealing with. I don't want to give away all my secrets for 40,000 likes on YouTube. So I said, when pros do get willing to teach you, you need to listen.
Yeah, like when you do Bass University. You better listen.
Yeah, you're giving it away. So I said, that's the problem we've had. Is there's so much information, and then YouTube took off so fast and then it got cloudy, and like it's hard to separate. So I think it did cloud the water a little bit. Not saying the guys ain't a great fisherman, but they got 2 or 3 days to make a YouTube video for 30 minutes. I got 8 hours to catch 25 pounds, or Seth Fighter's going to break his right foot off up my ass.
Yeah, bud.
That's the game every day.
It is, and that's the realness of it. Now, let me say this, G. I don't want to discourage any child or young kid from making these videos or doing these things. I would do it. If I had that technology as a kid, you probably would have too. But the thing is, man, don't teach when you're not qualified. And
don't be afraid to look at somebody older than you. If you're 15, don't be afraid to go click on somebody's page that's 45 or 48 fishing, because why? They an OG. They the Snoop Dogs of bass fishing. Yeah. They done seen all that stuff. No. You want to mix up a little bit of that variety. I see, and I'm with you. Teach kids to make videos. YouTube is perfect for getting on there and teaches you a camera presence. But what I also don't like about a lot of YouTube, it's a fake personality I see a lot of times.
Tons of it.
Premeditated.
Almost premeditated.
Yeah. Just, smash the like button, hit the follow, and let's go. And I'm like, I don't never do that when I'm by myself. Never. I walk to the boat ramp, I think I farted, poop my pants, and go back wherever our truck keys are. Then I lost my phone. Then I get in the boat and I dust off 20 pounds and I come home. But I'm like not out there going, I'm like, so I think they build a make-believe world.
Yeah. Gee, now here's the next part. Gerald. Sorry, we're serious still. Gerald, here's the next part. Like, how do we let the industry know that it's not okay to give all this money to these type of and take money away from professionals? Like, why should some Bassmaster Elite Series anglers not make as much money as a kid that can hold up a plastic worm and spin it on TikTok?
Well, this is going to be an unpopular opinion, probably from most of my peers, is I feel like we got out hustled. We, as pro anglers, got out hustled because we didn't take YouTube serious enough when it come out.
Wow. Okay.
And we let it get out in front of us, and that's where the brand went. And most of us sit pretty stubborn and said, "I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that." And I think as professionals would have embraced it and fed the monster the information, the sponsors could have looked at that. But I do see that some of these sponsors are like, if I can get 100,000 views off this kid, it's 100,000 views. And a lot of these guys are selling tackle. So the hard hurdle there is they're getting something for their money. All right. You are educating or you're selling baits, but are you making the next tournament fisherman? Here's what nobody's going to want to hear.
Okay.
Any of them fish competitive? YouTubers?
Oh, yeah. I mean, very few, if any.
Right. So, that's where we're at. We have to, as an industry, anglers have to step back and say, and I went back and tried to ramp up my YouTube, and I've had to learn YouTube. YouTube is not TikTok. It's not Facebook. It's not Instagram. We just got out hustled. And I was bitter about it for a while. I'm like, hey, dude, shame on me for being that cocky or arrogant or stupid or whatever it was. I didn't think I needed to make videos. So shame on me. Maybe I should have sat down in my garage and made some Texas rig videos, but I felt like everybody knows that. So that was a big oversight on my part.
Yeah.
It's weird. And I'm like, so, okay, that's on me. But I think you're seeing that slowly turn. I think the industry now which is going to help with the opens. I think it's going to start pushing the credentials of the anglers are going to be a lot more important. I think when the industry was good, sponsors were throwing money at everything. And you can't blame a company for giving a kid money if he gets some hundreds of thousands of views and he sells tackle. That's business.
I get it.
That's business.
I get it. I do get that.
But at the end of the day, they have to sort out, of course, it's always been this love-hate. I think YouTubers don't like professional bass fishermen. And for years, professional bass fishermen really haven't liked YouTubers. It's been an argument there. Like, we just don't blend together, because bass fishermen see it as a kind of a copycat. You're using it because it's most of the stuff you watch is something they picked up off somebody else's site, recycled it, put it out there and got the views. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just fishing. Half the stuff that I've learned has been handed down from my dad, or I learned fishing with a buddy of mine. Like, you pick up things you learn from people. But I think we have to make a point to let people know when they look at an angler's resume or when they go on Bass and click on Bass's site that his information is readily available. Wes Logan has won this. He's done this. His strengths is this. This is like, I think that's very important. So when a kid wants to learn how to swim a jig, he can go to Bass, type in Wes Logan, jig swimming pops up. He can go right to it. I think we let ourselves down.
Jig skipping, Gerald Swindle, right there.
Right. You want to be a flipper, Jason Christie. So I think we do a better job of that. We pull some of that back to us. But I do think you're seeing pros step their YouTube game up.
Yeah, and dude, again, it's an avenue that's fresh or was fresh and new. A lot of people we didn't jump on it. We didn't. We're broadcasters.
I didn't either.
We're broadcasters. We're like, what's YouTube? We don't know what that is. But anyway, and it shows on our YouTube channel now.
Well, I mean, and the problem is if you didn't get on that train early, it's so hard to build.
Yeah, it
really is so hard to build. And we were late getting on the train. And a lot of it blew up. And got like, I look at like Brian Latimer, dude, he kills it. But he works his butt off.
He does, bud. Like Latimer's
I'm trying to build off. I'm doing Facebook, which, I'm Facebook monetized, so a lot of those anglers YouTubers don't have that. But you try to balance it. But Leanne and I know we talked about that. I should just go out here and sit down and do more YouTube, just basic videos. Yeah. But pros have a really hard time with that because they feel like everybody knows it.
And may I take this opportunity here as you're talking about all the social media and all the hard work that you guys do and give some hats off and props to Leanne right here. Bass Galaxy, give it up for Leanne because she's actually way smarter than you are, and we know that. And she pretty much holds the whole. She's the one that holds the whole damn ship together.
She holds the whole ship together. All she does is sometimes say, "You create it, I'll figure out how to make it work. You just create the content." And other than that, she holds the ship together.
Yeah, here's an analogy. You've never heard this one about Lulu, but she is the James Brown of the Gerald Swindle organization. She's the hardest working woman in swindle business.
It's funny because people are like, "Hey, Lulu, what do you do when he's competing? You go to the wineries, you go shopping?" And she's giving him this look like, "Huh?" She's like, "Well, I fly my drone at blast off. I run the camera. I gather B-roll, send it to Shannon, our editor, via Dropbox, and I'm cutting out footage." Like she's become the mind coach, the second shift driver, the therapist, like all this. And now she's running cameras because
third base coach.
We've seen that this is important. If we're going to have all this footage and we don't really want someone living with us, she's like, "I'll take it on." So it's funny. I see her down there. She's got her drone up in the air, her and Randy Gleason, and they're flying stuff. I'm like, people don't see that side of fishing.
Yeah,
people don't see that.
I had to give accolades where accolades are due. I mean,
she's hustling, and 2 years ago, if you'd have told her she's going to be flying a drone at takeoff, she'd been like, "There's no way." And now she's got camera lenses. I look like James Overstreet Jr. rolling up the tournament. We got lenses and things clicking on there, but it's I think it does give the fans a better look inside of the sport. And it does help you create better videos. And like I said before, if you're too afraid to try to chase the game and learn with it, you're going to get left behind.
Heck yeah. Keep at it. Always
keep at it.
Let's play a couple games in straight cast fashion. And then my mom's got meatloaf and cheesy poofs downstairs.
I love cheesy poofs. I think we got chicken and rice when I get done.
Nice. Hey, remedies, like home remedies.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you have, and remedies are not just always cures, but they can be solutions as well. Right? I mean, we're agree on that. And this is a little segment that we just came up with right now, and it's called, ladies and gentlemen, Gerald Swindle's Remedies.
Yes, I got some.
Yeah, welcome to the Gerald Swindle Remedy. So, Gerald, the first remedy that I'd like to talk to you about are insect bites. Tell me a remedy to ease the uncomfort of insect bites.
Chiggers is a well-known animal that lives out here in the South and high grass, rarely seen by man with a naked eye. Been known to eat children and small people and make you go into convulsions, scratching. When they get on you, you think Satan is in your body.
Hate them.
The fastest way to ever stop a chigger from itching, no matter what nobody tells you, is Windex with ammonia.
Really?
Spray Windex with ammonia on them. They'll quit itching instantly for about 3 to 4 hours. You can rest and then spray them again. Fingernail polish does not work. That's a joke. Windex with ammonia.
Windex with ammonia. G-Man home remedy. I like that one.
I'm eat up with them right now. I know. I got some redneck remedies now. You have no idea.
I know. I got all kinds of good stuff here for you. Hey, G, how do we keep the toothpaste on the toothbrush? Because that pisses me off. I'm going to be honest with you.
Apply dry and hold level on low water current. Don't apply wet.
Okay.
Used to rinse my toothbrush and then put the toothpaste on there and it let go. So I like to apply dry with a low water pressure, then just to rinse it and start. But the toothpaste, if tilted, you got to put more pressure going down in the hair of the toothbrush. Don't just kind of drizzle it on there.
You're a very smart man.
No, I've just washed a bunch of it on the bottom of the sink.
What do you do with these people that don't return the shopping carts at the grocery store? What are we going to do with them?
I'd like to whoop them with a rubber noodle. But you can't. But you want to look at them and say, really, was it that hard? Was it that hard? You went and got it, but you won't put it up. So I think when you don't put your shopping cart up, we the people should be able to put a sticker on the back of your car so we can identify it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. With that being said, what do we do to people that cheat in bass tournaments? What do we do with them?
Now, see, that's a trick question right there. I mean, the intentionally to cheat, you got to make a stand on. There's a big difference in accidental running in no wake zone. It's a difference in a guy kept too many fish, accidentally got caught. When you find someone who premeditated and cheated in a bass tournament, I'm the guy that says goes to the next level.
You cut their hands off.
I'm just saying. That's all I'm going to say.
It
would step way up. I could just tell you, if I was a tournament director, it would step way up. It would be bad, but I don't like it. I don't like it when someone intentionally cheats in a tournament that makes an effort to be deceptive.
So, G, here's what it is, and I people might hate me or whatever for this, but like, I could be friends easier with someone that maybe robbed a convenience store than cheated in a bass tournament, if that makes any sense. Like, intentionally cheated in a bass, premeditatedly cheated in a bass.
I can't get my head around that. Like, when you plotted, you run the course, you did the whole thing and been deceptive. To me, that's really bad.
That fish is so sacred. This fish is so sacred, and it's all of our livelihoods, and without it, we're screwed. Okay?
The sport. And I tell everybody that. When you put that patch on, no matter what organization you fish, whether it's my choice is bass, there's going to be other guys that say mine's MLF or mine's this. When that league you decide is where you want to make your living and you put that patch on, you should honor it like you're in a motorcycle club. You should have that much integrity and respect for that patch that you don't want to go down that road.
Yeah, I agree. And with that being said, well said, G. I mean, come on, man. We're purists, dude.
We're supposed to be purists.
Yeah, this is a purist sport. This is a gentleman's sport. Okay, here's let's switch topics. Let's go. We're back to the goofiness. Hey, I had
more remedies. I mean,
I want more. I got more. I'm asking you for a remedy because this is what I need. I need G-Man's remedy, or basically surefire pickup line that works every time with the ladies, no matter what. I need a line. I'm a single guy. I need a line. Give me a line.
For something that's going to guarantee.
Yeah, guaranteed I'm going to get laid every time.
You need to, when you're sitting there, when your waitress comes over, ask her to reach down and feel the quality of that shirt. And you ask her, what kind of material is this? And she's going to say, I don't know. And you're going to say, it's wife material. You're already in right there. See? Solid.
Do you want to know what James Watson's was?
I can only imagine.
Okay, so Watson told us, he said that he goes up to ladies and he says, are you wearing space panties? And and they say, huh? What are space panties? And he said, well, you got an ass from outer space that's out of this world.
Yeah, that's why he's still single, riding around with a puppy named Biscuit too, because that line is like Iraq. It is bombed out and depleted. He is gone.
It never worked ever.
Never take pickup lines from James Watson. Never.
Gee, you got quite a bunch on the 2022 Elite Series roster. You got a bunch of great guys.
Yes, sir.
I mean, it's really, you have a bunch of comrades and peers and and schoolmates. You're like schoolmates, you know? So our last segment of the night, and this is basically Bassmaster Yearbook with Gerald Swindle. So I'm going to give you some yearbook scenarios, and you kind of tell me which angler in the field would fit these scenarios. What do you think, Jim?
Right.
You up for this? You ready?
Yeah, I'm up.
All right, let's do this. Here we go. All right, so G. Oh, yeah, I like it, Ginge. Valedictorian music. Very good.
Yes.
Oh, with that being said, who would be the class valedictorian of the 2022 Bassmaster Elite Series? The valedictorian.
I'm gonna say valedictorian of our class would probably be. Let me think. Let me go through this. Gussie.
Gussie. Good
Snow
answer.
leopard. Straight-laced,
yeah.
well-educated, smooth, well-spoken. That's my valedictorian sticking with.
He sure is a valedictorian. Jeff
Yeah.
Gustafson. Yes.
Yeah.
I like it. Who's the class clown, G? You can use
God.
you in any of these too, by the way.
Oh, I'm gonna move that down to I'd be hard not to vote on myself. I do like joking with people. Pardon be me.
Okay. I had to say that.
You got me on that.
You kind of are the class clown. Hey, who's got the best hair? Who's got the best hair?
Pipkins. I'm not even that. I mean, I've never claimed to want to play for both teams, but he makes me look at him in a manner that I'm really not safe with. Like,
Wow.
that guy's got the prettiest hair I've ever seen in my life.
Wow. Chad
Pipkins is like, and he can race around all day and come in and it looks the same. I don't get it.
It's amazing. Damn amazing.
It's amazing.
I'm telling you. Who's got the best voice? The best voice out of the anglers on this. Like, who's got just a magical voice?
Oh man, that's a good one. Because let's see. Let me think about that. Pollinix is pretty good. Pollinix's voice, if you listen to just voiceover without, like, he's kind of got a little bit of a radio voice.
He does. He puts it on. You're right. Good thing. I know, little Brandon. I used to be his manager. He fired me. He fired me. Who's most likely to do time in jail out of the 2022?
Robertson.
Matt Robertson.
You got or the one of the John. I mean, it could be Corey Johnson or Robertson. One of them two is going. They're gonna have to have bail money.
Corey or Matt. Yeah.
Yeah.
We you don't even want to know the things that I've already gotten Matthew out of. G. You don't even want to know. He's my illegitimate child. You know that, right?
He's a good dude.
Yeah,
man.
he is. He 100% is. Man, I mean, I think you kind of nailed it here, dude. We had a good time tonight. Did you have good fun, G, or what?
I do, man. I always enjoy coming on, man. It's good to have the verse topics, and just kind of joke around. And I think it just lets people see the good side of you guys, what we do. We kind of mix it up, and it's kind of fun to look at the elite roster like that. And we'll rig up a football team next time on the Elite Series or a boxing team. Or something.
Oh, wrestlers.
Woo, and their names.
Yeah, wrestlers.
Carl Wappamson. Wappamson. It'd be Carl Wappamson if he was a wrestler. Yes.
It sure would. And the
Jacob. It would be Jacob the pile driver Perosny.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. You know what? He, like, the best analogy that I heard ever on this show, and Jacob already hates me for this, but that's okay, is Hackney said he's like the Jabba the Hutt of Bassin, and he just feeds them frogs. He's feeding them frogs. He's feeding them frogs.
Is something else, dude. He's something else, but he would be the Jacob the pile driver.
Oh, he's a fierce competitor too. That boy does not like to lose.
No. So that's what we'll be working on. Next time we meet, you'll have your wrestling team and I'll have mine.
Okay. And then next time we meet, we're going to write a song together, me and you too.
I'm down with that. Yeah. I'm all about it, man.
Yeah, let's do that.
I know you guys like to pick a little music.
I like that we get together once a year. It's just kind of like the Tonight Show or something when they'd have Rodney Dangerfield on once a year. You know what I mean?
He was good. I like Rodney. We'll try to get together before next year. Let's try to do a 6-month anniversary.
Okay, I'm down for that, G. Hey, shoot, thanks for reminding me, Ginge. Before we go, we're going to give away the G-Man prize pack to the lucky Straycast viewer that liked and shared the this deal. So, Jen, do you want to text that over to the Swindle compound? Oh, Leanne has it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do you have it, Leanne? Is she around?
Did you have whoever won the prize? Don LaBelle? Don LaBelle, you have won some.
Wait, hold on, G. Oh, gee, hold on. This is a real, bass fishing talk show. We have sound effects. We have setup.
Oh.
Yeah, come on now. So
give me the applause.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, here, go ahead. Hear he. The official winner of the G-Man Swag Pack is
Don LaBelle.
Don LaBelle, come on down.
I will get you together as part of the prize package that James Watson sent to me.
Yeah.
One unmatching sandal, one second place Little League Baseball trophy, one half-filled Ziploc sandwich bag of his real toenails.
Nice. That's the best prize pack ever. Yes.
A used paper clip. Just the most random stuff ever is what you'll get.
We love it. And all you got to do, what's his winner's name again? I have short-term memory loss.
Don LaBelle.
Don LaBelle, just direct message the Straycast Facebook page, and we're going to get the Swindle family the info, and,
yes.
and we'll get all that. Gee, thanks. Leanne,
you got it, guys.
Leanne, thanks. Thank you for all these years of supporting this dumb show.
Man, I appreciate it, guys. Y'all keep knocking it out of the park. I look forward to coming back on. We're going to wind these last two tournaments down. I want to be there to see who wins this AOY. And if it's my little boy BP, I'm going to pick him up and spin him around like a little cheerleader pom-pom. But it's going to be these last two tournaments should be interesting.
Heck yeah. I'll see you at the almighty Mississippi. I'll be down there in Wisconsin. Yeah.
I'll see you at the SIP down at Wisconsin, down there at the cheese place.
Over by there, you know what I mean?
Over there by there. We can fish the soda side this year. Fish down the soda side, you can keep more than 4 bass in your bucket.
Yeah, Marge.
Should be a good derb to fish on that on the riprap on the soda side going down, you know.
I agree, but no night crawlers, G. No
I'm
night
gonna
crawlers,
hit them
Marge.
It's the bottom bouncers. I'm all about the leeches.
You need your Lindy Little Joe worm blower. That's what you need. Fish location presentation. Good night. This is Al Linder. Thank you very much for turning in to the G-Man special on Straycast.
Yeah.
Love you, G. Peace.
See you guys.
There it is. G-Man. Give it up for the G-Man and Leanne Swindle. Boom. Powerhouse. TNT. Watch Ginge explode. Ginge, we got to get another prize to give away.
Yeah, I got it. You ready?
Yeah. You do it. I'm all talked out.
You're all talked out?
Yes, I'm all talked out. I'm all talked out.
That
I can do
happen.
sound effects.
All right, the half a spot winner.
Half a spot. That's where I screwed up earlier. I said half a spot. I just like to say swag bag and things like that because words that rhyme. But here's what the prize really is. I should have said this before. It's a the board, the measuring board, that cool measuring board.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, that's what the prize is.
Okay.
So anyway, who won that? Who won it?
No, I lost it.
Chupito, campanas, lapino, ratento.
So
you killed my father. Prepare
ready?
to die.
It's Frank.
Frank? Provolone?
It's something. It's Polyfrone.
Is it Franco Provolone?
Frank Polyfrone.
Frank Poly?
Frank Provolone.
You got to spell this. Polyfoam?
P-O-L-L-I-F-R-O-N-E.
Frank, you won.
You won. Frank. We'll
figure this out. Watch this. JR will get you the stuff.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, there it is. Ginge, I had a great time with G-Man.
That was a great one.
I always feel warm and fuzzy when we leave a show with the G-Man. You know what I mean? And thank you, Bass Galaxy, for tuning in with us tonight. Thank you to all our amazing advertising partners, too. To Bite Me Tackle. To Brevardny Swim Jigs. To Half a Spot Official, Berkley Abu Garcia, Crestliner, Power Pole, Omnia, TH Marine, Alpha Angler, Tin Cup Whiskey, Ichikawa, Poisonous Hook, Sims Fishing, and of course, CalSagBass.com. Bass Galaxy. It's a thin raft. Bundle up. Tomorrow we enter the town of our birth, and I get a trolling motor again. Peace. We'll see. We're off next week, right, Ginge?
Yes.
We're off next week. I think I'm going bassing in the north country, further into the perimeter, and I'm gonna I'm gonna be inside a buffalo. I'm gonna wear a buffalo skin coat to keep warm.
Like in Wayne's World?
Yeah, or like in Star Wars when they cut open that. What do you call that? The matapu?
The tauntaun?
What's it called? The
Tauntaun.
The tom-tom. I'm gonna cut open a tom-tom, and I'm gonna get inside it to keep warm.
There you go.
In the north, and catch bass. Makes no sense. I like this stuff, Ginge. It's fun. See you in a couple weeks.
Later.
Yeah, we'll have a good time. Love you, Bass Galaxy. It's amazing. Peace. We're out of here. Thanks.